Early world building on Europa filtered primarily through the force of Giordas and Sari, a deepness of wonder, desire, comfort, and blood. The peacock feather motif of the Ansari's Argus Hotel and Casino mixes with the moon's ravenous sea life and the ambition to control the world. The ordinary structures of the Taurus are a backdrop to Giordas' ambition and to the dreamlike quality of the submerged nation. Europa Elan, omnipresent and invisible, hums in synchronization with humans and native life alike, amplifying an unpredictable and treacherous climate inclined toward extremes. Karan's perspective of Europa showed such a different side of the moon, I made a second concept image through his senses. A too exciting radiation of color and adoration, the enormity of the Mimosini Theater, casino lights, and the edges of everything liquefying into everything else. The spectral pulse of Muse overwhelming Europa Elan's resonances wherever it and its favorite human go. Pillars reaching for fake sky, an illusion of endlessness over Casino Row. Europa City exists within the Europa Torus, a tube floating semi-freely in presumed liquid water around the moon's rocky and geologically active core. Hundreds of years prior to the novel, Europa supported humanity's first xenobiological research station and belonged to no specific corporation, much like the Antarctica research stations today. As it evolved from a scientific outpost into a large population center, it retained its political independence and corporate neutrality. Ships docking at the Europa Taurus approach through several large tunnels carved into the moon's 10-kilometer icy crust. They then follow a string of guide lights through the completely dark ocean to the city. The Taurus, the ship channels, and several science stations on the solid core belong to humanity. The rest of the moon is still very much the exclusive domain of Europa's uniquely ravenous sea life. I have no clue what the fins on the Taurus are about. I seem to have imagined them the day I drew this diagram, but I don't think they actually exist in the Europa Taurus of the novel, and I can't imagine what purpose they'd serve since the Taurus regulates its position with large numbers of small thrusters that would not be visible from afar. Europa is a little smaller than Earth's moon. While none of the action in the novel takes place on its surface, this artist's conceptualization from NASA gives a good idea of its relative distance from Jupiter and the Sun. Europa orbits every 3.5 days and is tidally locked. It is in orbital resonance with Io and Ganymede, orbiting twice for every 1 orbit of Ganymede and every 4 orbits of Io. Europa's icy surface is one of the most luminescent in the solar system. It is striated with lines thought to be from the tidal forces of Jupiter acting on the surface ice and liquid water below. Beneath Europa's icy shell is an ocean of salty water, which might be an environment suitable for some form of life. Europa Stats in 2521. Europa belongs to the Sol system, its classified core, its political status is independent, its corporate affiliation is neutral. Its government system is neo-parliamentary and it was founded in 2240 it currently has a population of about 150 million. Europa relies primarily on tourism, also diplomatic and corporate exchange, science and education, and a small amount of technology, innovation, and miscellaneous other arts and crafts exports. As an artificial enclosure, the Europa Taurus contains only Europa City and has no geographical features. Europa City is comprised of 4 color-coded quadrants, each of which is further broken into districts. Each district has representation. The Taurus is serviced by ultra-high-speed tube transit. The Elan that dwells around Europa was first attracted to the electromagnetic signals of its native ravenous sea life. Over time, it absorbed and reflected human resonances too. It remains a creature of both realms, equally a being of bright entertainments and dark, unassuageable hungers.